I'm not a flat earther.
Oh, yes, you are, you naughty little flat earther. Welcome to Wacky Wednesday. Yes, how do, dearest viewer, and welcome back to my little corner of the YouTubies. Thank you very much for joining me. Yes, it is Wednesday, so it must be time for a Wacky Wednesday video. And today's victim is Mr. Howard George Stirrup. He is, if you don't already know, a flat earther, conspiracy dipstick, and expert goalpost shifter. We're going to have a look at an example of his goalpost shifting a little bit later on, but first, this.
My favourite experiment is verifying if moonlight chills during the waning phase, which is 1 week within the full moon. You can simply use a glass of water and a thermometer, or you can compare wet and snow surface temperatures. A dry surface is a negative control, and avoid other misreadings like radiative cooling by comparing the moonlight to unsheltered shaded areas, and manipulate the effect even more with a magnifying glass to confirm the independent variable.
Yes, that's part one of his video entitled 3 Experiments That Debunk Sci-Fi. Well, as we all know, if you've heard of Howard before, he has no clue whatsoever what the scientific method is, or indeed how to follow the scientific method. He believes, because he's never done this experiment himself, he believes that moonlight during the waning phase chills water somehow. I don't get it either, but you can do it for yourselves. But one YouTuber in particular called BM Furball, a great guy, I'm going to put the link to the video up there somewhere. He has done this exceptionally well. It's very, very detailed, and Howard is obviously going to deny it because he's been shown many videos of people doing this test, and he's denied and dismissed every single one of them, even though he says, let's compare results. But Howard, you don't have any results, so why can we compare our results to yours when you have none? Anyway, on to part 2 of this crap.
Here I am in Benidorm Beach, looking at the streetlights of San Juan beachfront 20 miles away at water level, making this reproducible observation irrefutable evidence that we're being lied to about the dimensions of where we live.
See what I mean, viewer? See what I mean? He's convinced we're being lied to. He doesn't know who's lying to us, and he doesn't know for what reason. He just believes that we're being lied to. Anyway, a few things bother me on that video. You don't mention the fact that San Juan is 40 meters above sea level, so you could be seeing streetlights that are above sea level. You don't mention for definite, and you don't show any evidence that you are looking at those streetlights from San Juan. You don't mention any refractive index, and you also don't mention the fact that from where you are to where you claim you are looking at is actually closer to 17 miles and not 20. You also didn't go back, or you didn't mention, you didn't go back and make that same observation on different days of the week at different times during the day. You've made one observation and come to one conclusion. That's not science. You wouldn't know the scientific method if it painted itself purple, called itself Susan, and bit your leg off. Those are the simple facts.
Zodiac hasn't suffered any disfiguration over thousands of years.
Wrong. And I'm not going to mention the ancient Babylonians having 13 zodiacs, and they missed out one called Ophiuchus, and then just had the 12 to match him in the 12 months of the year, etc., etc. I'm not going to talk about that, even though I just did. No, I'm going to talk about Thuban, which was the pole star actually up until 1800 BCE, and then I think it moved on to Kochab after that. I think that's how you pronounce it. Many apologies if I pronounced it wrong. So, the zodiacs have shifted. The pole star has moved due to Earth's axis shifting. So, don't take my word for it, Howard. Go and check for yourself.
The images and definitions that we're taught to believe in contradict what we observe ourselves. Scientific apparatus confirms that we should trust our eyes and use our common sense.
As the late, great Obi-Wan Kenobi once said before he succumbed to Darth Vader's lightsaber, he said, "Your eyes can deceive you. Why trust them?" Why indeed? Howard, I've told you many, many times on Twitter. Follow me at Mr. Jones 1972. Thank you very much. I've told you many, many times. Buy a fucking telescope. Looking at a star out of focus through a camera lens is not going to wash, pal. Now, this next video is only a minute long, and we're going to have a quick look at it now. It's called Have You Seen a Whole Country? Take it away, Howard. But listen to the music, though. I think this music is brilliant.
Have you ever seen a whole country? I mean, really see a whole country from outer space. Supposedly there's thousands of satellites out there, but whenever I search, all I can find are cartoons.
Really? You're obviously not looking in the right places then, because when I did a search, I came up with this. UK images from space. There you go, Howard. And from that search, I got an image such as this. What a lovely, lovely image that is. Unbelievable. Beautiful. I also found another beautiful image such as this one. Wow. Unreal stuff. Oopsie, I said unreal. Spank me. Anyway, this last image is taken, or was taken, by a Mr. Tim Peake, a British astronaut. Look at that. Absolutely unbelievable. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Really is. So, Howard, my challenge to you is to forensically examine these photographs for any inconsistencies or any anomalies. And please do a video about it. Put your money where your mouth is. You keep screaming fake and CGI and all the rest of it. Put your money where your mouth is and examine these photographs. Or do you believe that they're fake? The floor is all yours, Howard.
Or at best, some computer-generated imagery. But please do check for yourself and really have a good look. Because I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not trying to make any claims.
You're not trying to make any claims? But I thought you said...
Or at best, some computer-generated imagery. I'm just not buying what I'm being presented with anymore.
And you never ever will, because you are so unbelievably close-minded.
And I recommend that everybody do a little bit of research.
I have done. But have you, Howard? Have you done any research? No.
And now I'm wondering if Walt Disney was inspired by Pluto.
I'm dying.
Or if the image for Pluto is inspired by Walt Disney.
Yeah, that looks like the New Horizons pic, doesn't it? From I think it's 2015. New Horizons launched in 2006. And it's super fast. It goes like 35,000 miles per hour, so it's pretty quick. It took that image from about 475,000 miles away, I believe. And it's a fantastic image. It's one of my favourite space images, if you like. But Howard, again, my challenge to you is examine that photograph. Examine it. And if you find any anomalies, put them in a video. If you find any, any errors in it, then please put them in a video and let's see your evidence. Why don't you take your own advice and check for yourself? Simples. And just before we move on, you said you don't make any claims, but in your video, in your last bit, all pictures from NASA are artist concepts. If it's fake, how is it real? But you're not making any claims, Howard. Now, as promised, a bit of deflection and a bit of goalpost shifting from Mr. Stirrup. Now, a few weeks before he got his Twitter account suspended. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Howard, what have you been up to? Before he got his Twitter account suspended, he had a debate with MC Toon. Now, I can't recommend this guy highly enough. He's a fantastic bloke. Really, really good in debates and, all round top bloke. Anyway, he had a discussion or a debate with MC Toon where they talked about a tweet that Howard sent. Now, this tweet is something similar to this one that I'm about to show you now, because funnily enough, I can't find the original tweet. But if you go to MC Toon's channel and look for this debate, the original tweet is his thumbnail. But it basically says the same thing. Have you ever seen a whole country? Now, like I said just a minute ago, Mr. Stirrup is going to start deflecting and he's going to start shifting the goalpost. So, Mr. Toon and Mr. Stirrup, take it away.
Okay, so this is from 1972. This is like I said, it's not the earliest one. There are several earlier ones. I can show you that later if we get there. But this is simply from Apollo 16. I like Apollo 16 because I met Charlie Duke, who was on Apollo 16. So the one from 1972, there's two missions, I believe, in 1972. The one that's called Blue Marble was Apollo 17. This is Apollo 16. This is one of a couple thousand photographs in the archive, and this particular archive is on Flickr. The source material is in a museum in Houston, Texas. If you want, I can send you the contact information. You can go there and see the original images. They're on 4-inch slides. They're not like a printed photograph. They're actually the film that's been developed into a slide. So what's your question?
Stand by for some goalpost shifting.
Can we see a smaller country? Because there's no definition here. I mean, we could be looking at...
Well, let me read again. You said, have you ever seen a whole country? So here we have all of Mexico is visible right there.
Yeah.
All of Mexico.
Stand by for some deflection.
But the thing is, like I say, Michael, I offered 10,000 euros on television, Spanish television, and it went viral in South America. And even Simon Dan picked it up. And in 3 years, I only received ridicule and sarcasm and secondary information.
Okay, well,
how come nobody can prove the curvature at water level?
I'm sorry. If you want, we can talk about that topic after we're done.
Yeah. But I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back. How come nobody can show any evidence of landscape lost behind curvature at water level, no matter the distance?
That's a separate topic
here,
again.
No,
happy to do that later.
Please, Michael, I'm not debating. I'm just trying to make a point, but you've interrupted
You're changing
me
the
twice.
topic, though.
No, I'm actually not, Michael. I'm just trying to make a point, but you're trying to interrupt me to make me look like I'm not.
So there you go, folks. The dishonesty of Mr. Howard George Stirrup. Can we see a smaller country? Later on in the debate, he says, can we see a smaller country like India? India is apparently smaller than Mexico. And we've seen some deflection, obviously, because they were talking about the photo from space from Apollo 17. And he goes on about his bloody challenge for some strange reason. What a dishonest prick. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. That's Howard George Stirrup, destroyed and debunked. And please join me on the next one, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Please join me on Sunday at 9 p.m. for another edition of The Sunday Stupid. So, for now, thank you very much for joining me again, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra for a bit.